Okay, well, Bob's 61 and I'm 57, and we've got two beautiful children. Montana is 23 and Tristan is 20. And probably up until Bob had to stop work, he was a sales rep for a glass company where he was there for 15 years.
Fantastic.
And I've been working for the same accounting firm for the last 19 years. Well, he's a lovely person for a start. He's always very approachable, and they always get back to you on anything that you ask. And I just find them very easy to get along with. All the staff here, like no matter, you can ring up and they always get back to you. They've actually helped us a lot because, say at the beginning, we did always have like life insurance and superannuation, but they were things that we'd sort of got ourselves. And so when we had the meeting with Darko, he sort of asked us where, what we wanted to do, where we were in our life. And at that stage, we had a mortgage. We wanted to, get that paid down as probably quickly as possible and, get some more money into superannuation. So all those sort of things, he was able to help us with our cash flow. And he also sort of said with our life, we need to have a holiday. So there was all those sort of things that he was able to help us with. Stage we were both fit and healthy, but our kids were still at school, and as I said, we had a mortgage, so they were the sort of things that we were sort of concentrating on. And with life insurance, we wanted to get our life insurance sorted because you don't know what the future holds, and we wanted to be able to, if God forbid something happened to either of us, that our home loan would have got paid out, and that our children would have had some sort of financial support in the future.
Diagnosed me as early dementia.
Early onset dementia.
Yeah. Because I was 60, they sort of like I was a bit of a guinea pig for him to work with. And I was into PET scans, I was into MRIs, could be three times a week. And this happened over a good 6 months. It was just a painful episode that we had, really tough times. And everything was $500, $600, and that took a bit of a...
Yeah, but you eventually got a diagnosis. We thought he had a brain tumour actually. That's what we thought they were going to find, but they didn't. Probably, I know Bob's main concern was that he wouldn't be able to support the family anymore because at that stage, he was still working, but we didn't sort of know what the future holds. Yeah. And if he has to stop work, how are we going to sort of survive financially just on one wage at that stage? Darko was absolutely fantastic. When all this was sort of happening with Bob, and at that stage, as I said, his employer sort of didn't know. And there was one Sunday night I just was sitting there and I thought, I'm just going to email Darko and just sort of let him know sort of what's happening. And I got a telephone call at 8 o'clock the next morning from him. And first of all, it was to sort of say how sorry he was. And then it was sort of say, okay, now this is... We've got a plan. This, what can we do? This is sort of a plan we've got to get in process. This was on the Monday. He said, okay, come in on the Thursday. We made an appointment. We came in on the Thursday. He had all Bob's income protection papers all sorted for us to go through and to take to the doctors. He said, we needed to tell Bob's employer, which we did. We made an appointment the next day and went and saw him, and so Bob went on sick leave from that Friday. And then it was basically, Darko's then just worked through with us a plan of, okay, your income protection insurance, once we get the forms in, will kick in after 30 days. After a couple of months, we'll probably look at going for a TPD payout. And he and his staff have just been amazing. Number of times I've emailed them or rang them up, and truly nothing is too much trouble, and they're so supportive. They really are. Always just ask, how are you going? Even sometimes I'll just send me an email to see how we're going. I probably can't express in words actually what a relief it was, the burden it took off my shoulders. Yeah, it was just, everything seemed to be coming from everywhere, and you know, what are we going to do? And so yeah, it really has made a massive difference to our life. We're not professionals. We don't know, you know, we don't, as I said before, we don't know all the small print and everything like that. So I think if you find someone who can give you good advice, but also listen to your concerns and you know, take on board what you want as well, you should go for it. With the income protection, so basically we get that now at the end of every month, and that was 80% of what Bob's original wage has been. So that sort of helped us with our cash flow, it's helped with the medical bills. We've been lucky, our mortgage has been paid out, so we haven't had that. But and actually saving for a holiday, which Darko's pretty insistent that we go on. Bob's pretty insistent, he's driving me nutty. Yes, yeah. Especially how like where your superannuation's invested and things like that. Because as I said, like before we got proper advice, our money was just sitting there. I guarantee it probably wasn't growing. Who would have known what it was doing? Because we didn't know. You just put it into somewhere and sort of let it sit there. And the same with our insurances. I know the type of life insurance policies we had back then. There's no way they would be covering us for what we're going through today. I just know that. So, as I said, you do need professional advice. No one knows what's around the corner. They made it a lot easier, and just probably their compassion, that too. Darko's got a really good box of tissues in his office. And really big box of tissues, and over the last 12 months there's been a few tears, and I've pestered his staff like you wouldn't believe. I used to, sometimes something would pop into my brain and I'd email one of them, and they always got, you know, back to me straight away saying, don't worry, it's all taken care of, or, you know, we'll look into it. And Darko and his team have been absolutely amazing. I can't speak highly enough of what they've done for us. So anyone I see, I tell them to go and see them, so I say, get good advice, this is where you've got to go.